This video is for Alaska State hiring managers, and it doesn't matter what office you're in, this information will make your job easier. So let's talk about making hiring smoother, faster, and user-friendly. You get all of that working with the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation and using Provisional Hire. If you aren't familiar with Provisional Hire, it allows managers and employees working together to try out a position for up to 4 months. It can be used for any state permanent or non-permanent position. Right from the start, using Provisional Hire helps you in 3 ways. It will increase your productivity, reduce turnover, and you will get reliable employees who are vetted before they even apply for the job. When it comes to increasing productivity and reducing turnover, it's obvious to say that a state agency must have quality employees. What isn't so obvious is the solution. Every hiring manager has had the experience of someone with an excellent resume who interviewed well and turned out to be a dud as an employee. This is why so many successful managers have turned to the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. They know the DVR is the place to go for outstanding employees. You see, people with disabilities work with DVR to become qualified and competitive for the positions they seek. When they are ready, DVR helps by working with the state office that needs their skills, and then ensures they're successful in the position. DVR evaluates every job applicant to make sure they are qualified and will be a good fit for your agency. DVR continues to provide support to the client. What makes Provisional Hire even better? It's an Alaska state statute. This means you'll be able to skip a lot of the steps set out for hiring state employees. This makes it possible for you to bypass the standard recruitment process. No more issues with having to wade through dozens of applications or read those 20-page resumes. No more interviews with people who haven't done even the most basic research or who clearly have no idea what your agency does. No more setting aside days and days for interviews, only having to repost the job and start all over again because nobody qualified applied. Of course, you will interview the DVR client before they start. DVR will also give you a thorough assessment of an applicant's skills and abilities. You have that option of the 4-month trial period, so you can get to know them and watch them work. Most importantly, you will have a vetted, skilled employee who understands the nature of where they're coming to work, and it's all allowed under state statute. You will have full control over the situation. You are not even obligated to hire the DVR client. The process can be stopped at any time with just a phone call to DVR. DVR can even inform the client for you. The client's direct supervisor decides if the DVR client can perform the job and that they meet the desired qualifications of the position. If there's a reasonable accommodation needed, DVR will help with the process of developing a collaboration between you and the client. Provisional Hire means you're in the driver's seat and you have a full pit crew to back you up. Compared to those 17 steps needed for the state hiring process, the paperwork is a breeze, and DVR handles most of it. What documentation are you going to need? There's the Significance of Disability Determination letter, signed by the DVR director. DVR will get that for you. The application profile, which is a fancy term for the document showing the individual's qualifications and work history. DVR will get that for you too. A pre-employment certification form, which is signed at the time of the interview. DVR has you covered. And finally, an email that states the job title, PCN to fill, reference check information, and request for hire approval. This one is on you. What other ways will Provisional Hire help you make your job easier? Provisional Hire will have a positive effect on your workplace. There is proof that hiring qualified workers with disabilities has practical, day-to-day positive effects on your agency. A study by DePaul University showed that workers with disabilities perform equally to employees without disabilities, and they stay with an employer longer, so you don't have to hire as often. Even general staff turnover is lower by up to 30%. That same study also found that workers with disabilities have fewer unscheduled absences than those without disabilities. Another common concern that is often raised, work safety, has also proved to be a non-issue. A 1990 study assessed the safety records of employees with disabilities and found that 97% rated average or above average in safety. When you actively participate in hiring people with disabilities, you have access to a talent pool of people with diverse strengths and talents. People with disabilities must use creative thinking every day to deal with situations that most folks just don't. The skills they develop can make them stand out as members of your workforce. Now, let's talk about what happens when you decide you really like that provisional employee and how that makes your job easier. Do keep in mind that an employee can't work in a position more than 4 months in a 12-month period before you decide to hire or not. If you're happy with a provisional employee, just appoint them without recruitment as a probationary employee. This becomes retroactive to the date they were appointed as a provisional employee. In order to do this, a performance evaluation laying out how well the employee has been doing has to be written by their immediate supervisor. The evaluation must be completed prior to the 4-month deadline. Sorry, DVR can't do that one for you. It's just that easy. The best way Provisional Hire can make your job easier is that this doesn't have to be a one and done. If you have future hiring needs, DVR can develop a long-term relationship built on an employment strategy designed for your agency. That way, whenever there's an opening, you can just put a call into DVR and they will have all the information needed to find you the perfect candidate. The job seekers DVR works with are Alaskans with disabilities who want to find and keep good jobs. They will be amazing additions to your workforce. Provisional Hire is a perfect opportunity to reach out to these people and make your job easier.